Hey, this is GT with the GT Sports Podcast coming to you on Championship Sunday. Got a couple good football games in store today. We're going to talk about those real quick. A couple injuries to report. So the Kansas City Chiefs All-Pro offensive guard Joe Thuney is going to be out today. Pacheco is in with an ankle injury. We'll see how that plays out for him as they kind of go through the game. Looks like Andrews for the Baltimore Ravens is going to make his debut. He's been out for a long time, so we'll see how that affects the game down there. Couple things for the 49ers versus the Detroit Lions today. Looks like Deebo Samuel will play, which is key. I think that him not playing in the last game against the Packers kind of affected their offense and their offense's ability to move the ball. Jackson out for the Lions. One of their premier offensive linemen, and then Raymond also out for the Lions as well. So let's talk about that Kansas City Chiefs game real quick before we make our picks. Can the Kansas City Chiefs defense slow down Lamar Jackson? I think they can. Their linebackers are extremely they're fast. They're very athletic. Defensive line is great. Looking for Jones to kind of have a day-to-day. He's going to have a day for them to be able to beat them. I think that they will make Lamar pass the ball in times past. And, in the last three times that they played, the Chiefs were 2-1 versus them. Basically, the one win that the Baltimore Ravens had against the Kansas City Chiefs, it took a miracle for them to get that. So I don't see a lot of miracles happen today. It's the playoffs. Things are a little bit tighter. Lamar beat up on a Houston team that I thought was way overmatched last week. Kansas City has the better quarterback in this game in my eyes, in my opinion, and Patrick Mahomes' ability to throw the ball, also run the ball, but also just manage the game, not make the big mistakes. Like I said last week, if Kansas City can keep from having turnovers and win the turnover battle, I think that Kansas City can win the game. But I think it comes down to defensively making Lamar pass the ball. I want to see Lamar pass the ball. I want to see what he looks like. Keep him in the pocket, essentially. And I think that the Chiefs have the defense and the linebackers to do that. Houston didn't have those pieces. They struggled, like I said, against running quarterbacks during the season, so I figured they would struggle against a running quarterback in the playoffs. Let's talk about the 49ers versus the Detroit Lions today. Can Detroit keep the train moving? Can they keep it rolling today? They got one of their premier offensive linemen out, which isn't good when you're going up against a 49ers front that has some dogs on it. They have some players that can play. Honestly, I think in this game, I think Detroit's a little bit overmatched. Their defense has given up a lot of passing yards to quarterbacks. When you look at what Matt Stafford was able to do against them, and then turn around and Baker Mayfield was able to do some things against them as well. Baker threw some interceptions, but one of those was at the end of the game, kind of a toss-up play. But I thought overall those guys have been able to move the ball against that pass defense very effectively, very efficiently, and I think when you add in McCaffrey and the ability to run, it's going to be hard pressure on the Lions to stop the 49ers today to be able to get a win there. So let's talk about my picks real quick for these games. We got the Kansas City Chiefs going up against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, which should be a good one. But real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do this, get this out the way for my Chiefs fans. I am picking the Kansas City Chiefs for a win today to go to a Super Bowl. And let's go ahead and get the Super Bowl rematch. I'm taking the 49ers to beat the Detroit Lions. So we're looking for a KC versus 49ers Super Bowl rematch. That Super Bowl happened a few years back, and it was one of the better Super Bowls that we got to see. It would be good to see that rematch. I think KC gets it, and I think KC gets it by a touchdown. I think the 49ers win by a double digit. So we'll see what happens today. I'll put up some highlights a little bit later. We'll look to talk to you guys soon.